Dear friends, welcome to the Wednesday Word on Wednesday the 26th of February. In the film Schindler's List, there is a powerful scene in which the SS guards force Jewish people from the Krakow ghetto into a labour camp outside the city. Oskar Schindler, the film's protagonist, witnesses a mother and son being brutally murdered by the guards. It's horrific. But what shocks him most is that it happens in full view of a little girl who stands out because she's dressed in red. The entire film is in black and white, except for her red coat. In the book on which the film is based, the author Thomas Keneally writes as follows. Later in the day, after he had absorbed a ration of brandy, Oskar understood the proposition in its clearest terms. They permitted witnesses, such witnesses as the red toddler, because they believed that all the witnesses would perish too. The SS guards acted without restraint because they thought they would never be held accountable. In their minds, there would be no day of reckoning, no judgment, no consequences. They believed that they could do whatever they pleased and that nothing truly mattered. As we were reminded last month on Holocaust Memorial Day, this month marks the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest of the Nazi concentration camps. The news featured moving testimonies from some of the last remaining survivors, witnesses who amazingly had not perished. But there is still another witness. This week in my Bible readings, I happened to be reading from the book of Esther, which also brought the Holocaust to mind. In this book, Persian King Xerxes is persuaded by the wicked Haman to enact a genocide against the Jewish people in his kingdom. There is a certain people dispersed amongst the peoples of all the provinces of your kingdom who keep themselves separate. Their customs are different from those of other people, and they do not obey the laws. It's not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. So the king issues the edict. Dispatches were sent by couriers to all the king's provinces with the order to destroy, kill and annihilate all the Jews, young and old, women and children. When I read those chilling words, I thought of how remarkably similar this decree is to the final solution of the Jewish question devised by the Wannsee Conference in January 1942. Now, God is not explicitly mentioned in the book of Esther, but he is not absent. He witnesses the suffering of his people, and he acts on their behalf. And we see this in how the Jewish Queen Esther courageously petitions the king for her people, leading to Haman's downfall. He's hanged on the very scaffold that he'd prepared for Mordecai, Esther's cousin. The message of the book is clear. God bears witness. Thomas Keneally's assertion is not entirely correct. God witnesses everything that happens in his world, even when we think he may not. There will be a day of judgment, a day of reckoning and of accounting. Sometimes that reckoning happens in this life, as it did for Haman and for some of the architects of the final solution at the Nuremberg trials. But even if justice is not served in this life, there will be a day of judgment in the world to come, when the Lord will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of the heart. On that day, there will be no place to hide from the justice of God, unless we have taken shelter in the Lord Jesus and in his mercy and forgiveness. Everything will matter. The genocide of the Jewish people in the 1930s and 40s, and the countless atrocities and genocides of our day. God bless you today.